Hi, I'm Kathy Moore. I'm a counselor with the City of Rossland, and I was the liaison from Council to our Sustainability Commission at the time that we did the Rossland Indicators Project. The Rossland Indicators Project is a really important initiative that we were able to undertake with funding from CBT, and this helped us identify different indicators for the community to benchmark our progress towards achieving the goals and objectives of our Strategic Sustainability Plan. The Strategic Sustainability Plan was a community effort with broad community engagement that helped us identify how we want to be in 30 years as a community. We want to be a resilient alpine community, a leader in socio-economic and environmental sustainability.
I'm Terry Miller. I'm the chair of the Rossland Sustainability Commission. The Rossland Indicators Project helps us track how we are doing as a community on our journey down our path towards sustainability. We have a 30-year plan that identified 11 different focus areas, and the Indicators Project helps us track the trends, whether we're moving towards those goals or slipping. Really helps give us important information on where we are in our journey.
My name is Jennifer Ellis, and I was the project coordinator for the State of Rossland project in 2010. It was based loosely on the State of the Basin project undertaken by the Columbia Basin Trust. At the initial stages, even providing examples of how other communities use indicators and saying, this is what an indicator is, these are the number of trails in this community, are you interested in the number of trails that we have in Rossland? Or this is the number of volunteers and the number of hours they volunteer in this community. Are you interested in learning more about how many people volunteer in Rossland? So really getting to the ground level of what the indicators mean. When we first started the project, it was challenging to get the interest of some of the Rossland residents because I think they thought that indicators were something very esoteric. So when we advertised public forums to say, hey, we're doing this project and we want your input on what indicators we should use, we didn't get a lot of feedback at that point because I think people heard the word indicator and they really didn't know what we meant. But once we actually had selected the indicators and had the data and could put out the results and say, what do you think of the results? That was when we got a lot more input and interest in the process.
One of the challenges to make this Indicators Project a success is to really get good buy-in from both your council and your community members as well as city staff. You really need champions to make it happen because this project is a long-term project. It's not a one-time thing that gets put on the shelf. The indicators are looked at every 3 years and in some depth and every 6 years in more depth. So it's really important if you're going to get the benefit out of this and to guide decision making that the data is collected and analyzed and acted on.
A number of years ago, the Rossland Indicators project became the foundational piece of our Sustainability Commission. Our community had put together a dynamic 30-year plan for how we saw ourselves moving forward, and the Indicators Project has become our dashboard, our lights for indicating whether we're green and we're on track or whether we're slipping in some areas or having real problems in other areas. So the indicators is a very foundational, important piece of work.
A piece of advice I would offer is fact check, fact check, fact check, double check your data. Often when you're working with this data, and for all of us in Rossland, this was a first-time experience. So the people at the city had to do a lot of calculations based on maps. We had to do calculations based on Statistics Canada.
One of the really important things to make this project a success is to make sure that subsequent councils get good orientation on the project and the benefits of the project. Because these indicators are ongoing and they're reviewed every couple of years, 3 years or 6 years, they can help form long-term plans. If council wants to use them that way and pays attention to the indicators, like we have housing density indicators, and in Rossland, housing density and type of housing is really important. We're mostly single-family housing. We have an indicator that says we need more rental housing. And that comes out of this project. That's a decision that council can make when they're doing things like zoning and property approvals. That kind of thing is really helpful. We learned all kinds of things about energy and water usage. Rossland used a lot of water, they use a lot of energy. Since this project has been undertaken, we've established water meters as a requirement. We've had the energy diet, which has been a fantastic project that the Sustainability Commission, Fortis, and the city engaged in to reduce energy use. That's been really important. So hopefully when we do the indicators next time, we'll see that our water usage has declined, our energy use has declined. These are really important things for making a sustainable city.
We're looking forward to 2014. This is the next cycle of activities where we come and revisit the indicators. We're going to be going back and looking at some of the hard data, things like trails, kilometers of trails, energy uses, that hard data that will help us track many of our end state goals, where we're heading to as a community. As well, we're going to be able to check in with our people in our community and get their report card on how we're doing. We're going to see where the A's and the B's and the C's are, and those areas that we are doing well in, and those areas where we have to pay more attention to. And with that foundational document, it gives us that baseline so that we can track the changes as we move towards our future.